Reunion. Hello, y'all. I was selling crack on a private jet up in the hell and back. But no confusion, this a reunion. Hello, y'all. Welcome back. Get murder here. He counting money. He said, "Can man, the hell with rap. I'm only here to shit on niggas and piss on bitches. Welcome, ass. I bought jewelry and bikes, nigga. Black Benzes and white Vickers. Now I'm out here and I'm looking for more chandeliers and light fixtures. Nah. I don't like niggas, what's wrong with me? I'm a hype nigga, but this 44 turn to Michael Jordan. I look and say, take flight, nigga.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and New York, just to name a few. Make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog Fantasy app. Use code MACE, CAM, or STAT to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash with your first deposit and your Travis Kelce first picks. All he needs is 1 yard for an easy win on your first cash entry. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts Mase and Cam.
Killa was good,
What's
man.
good, man? How you doing, man?
I'm doing wonderful.
How they treating you out there, man?
Treat me like 97.
That's what I like to hear. A lot of people say murder's home, man.
Yeah.
They said the lyrics is good. They look, pause, looking like a sex symbol, pause. Look, man.
My DMs got crazy. I got to stay off the gram.
What they said in the DMs, they trying to get with you?
Yeah, froggy, doggy, and hoggy.
I'm gonna keep it 100. You know what kind of pissed me off a little bit?
What?
Is that, I got my little section of girls that's always in my comments is like, Killa, you cute. And a couple of them is like, Mase look the fuck good. I'm like, hold on. I don't even know these girls, but in my brain, I know them in my brain. So I'm like, hold on. Who you talking about right now? Yeah, a couple of my little fans, they said you looking good, man. I ain't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, froggy, doggy, and hoggy.
Yeah, man. I'm all good, man. I know life has changed for you as far as relationship concerned, but my brain was mine as yours. And not talking about wifey at home and anything like that. Yeah. But anything else, man. Anything else, brother, that you're back. You're welcome to everything. Pause, man.
Yeah, and the comments have been going crazy. They've been saying season 5 hits different. People are asking me, can you put me out with Mase? Can you put me out with Cam? I'm like, not my territory.
Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, yo, son, man. Son through.
Said, actually, I'll look.
Yeah, thank you, man. Son through, man.
Okay. Y'all heard it here first. Okay, so college football has been pretty crazy over the past couple of days. So we're going to start with FSU. FSU lost to Boston College 28-13 at home. This is their second consecutive loss after losing to Georgia Tech 24-21 in Ireland. So their season's off to a very bad start. So what do you guys think of their loss, and what do you guys think that their next steps should be?
I'm gonna start by saying once they lost to Georgia Tech, this seemed like it was gonna be something you have to come back from immediately. Now here they are against Boston College, right? And it's not just losing; it's how you lose. When you lose the first 2 games as a school that's supposed to be top 10 or something like that, you don't have the team prepared if they're losing the first 2 games. These are supposed to be games that are in the bag. This is not a game they should have lost. This is not a game that should have even been that close, really, in my eyes. But this quarterback, the quarterback from Boston College, he's been having success against them for some years now. This is not the first year that he's had success against them. Last year, I think in 2023, he almost beat them in a very close game that year. So when they come back, Boston College is thinking, oh, this is a game we got to get because we should have won the last one. So to them, it's not really them thinking that we shouldn't be here. It's like, no, you got away last time. And this time, they made them pay. That's what I got from it. And the writing is on the wall. If this coach doesn't turn this around, Florida State is not a program that you can go 0-4 in and 0-5 in, you know, there's going to be talks of getting you out of there. So although you're saying the right things to the media, you better turn this around, nigga. You know, ASAP. This is Florida, baby. This is not, you know, Tennessee. This is Florida, man. You got to win, and you got to win now, especially with Miami playing good. I know we're going to get to that later, but you can't be losing like that in Florida. You know that stat.
Playing great is wild stat.
Yeah. They are.
They're 1-0.
That's great for me.
1-0.
Like they're on a 4-game winning streak.
Yo,
it's about to be.
Yo, both of y'all killed me. Playing great at 1-0 is wild. Yo, 1-0 is. I know we're gonna get to them, so I'll save it. But they're playing great. It's crazy. Yeah, we might as well just call Michael Irvin up and all three of y'all. Listen, I don't really have a lot to say about this. What I'll say is this though: when they lost in week 0, and everybody, it was in Ireland, it was overseas. They didn't lose a game on the mainland since XYZ. And I says, look. It doesn't matter where you're at, and I'm not saying that home field advantage against away advantage doesn't make a difference, but this was no advantage for either one of them. So when they lost in Ireland, I said, this spells trouble. And a lot of other analysts was like, well, I wouldn't count them out. I wouldn't count them out because this year it isn't just a 4-team playoff. It's 12 teams in college football that's going to have a chance to win the championship this year, and they were saying don't count them out. And I knew when they lost to Ireland that they were in trouble. As far as this game is concerned, Mase, you did a great take. I think it's good what you said, but as far as them going to the playoffs this year, I think it's over, my personal opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely over. You can't start 0-2 and lose to Boston College, an unranked team.
Yeah,
it's gonna knock you paws way out of the rankings.
Right. And it's so upsetting for FSU fans because they actually had a great season last year with Jordan Travis, and obviously he got drafted. But looking at their quarterback, he has a lot to work on. He doesn't seem comfortable on the field at all. I don't want to be quick to say that they're going to need to bench him, but if they ain't going to make another win next, it's time to look at other options because he's not cutting it for their team. And that's just what the reality is. Okay, so Miami Hurricanes are looking back in business after a 41-17 win at the Swamp, putting them at 12 on the AP Top 25 rankings. Obviously, there's a lot of discussion back and forth, but do you guys feel like the U has the potential to be back?
Stat, this is funny. Because, you know, I try to go with you when it's Miami, but I can't go against the Swamp, you know. When you think about Florida, I mean, we've been beating Miami so long. It's about time they get a few wins, you know.
Both of y'all, my bad, bro. My bad.
Yeah, I mean, we've been, you know, bullying the youth so long. It's about time they get a few wins. But, you know, I'm happy for Cam, and I'm happy for the coach Cam, you know, being his alma mater and getting these 2 wins. I mean, this 1 win, especially over a rival like Florida. It means a lot, but I'm not ready to put no stake in it just yet. Pause.
Just correcting you, mean quarterback Cam Ward.
Yeah.
You know what I have to say? I'm not going to look over here. You know what I have to say? I'm going to look at America and the world and everybody's watching. These 2 topics were set up by Stat purposely to show both Florida teams losing and that Miami won. So we have FSU losing, which is Florida, and then we have Miami beating Florida, and she goes to the university. She's an alumni of the University of Miami. So these first 2 topics was purposely to shit on the other schools in Florida and say that the U is back. This is obvious. This is like if you commit a murder and your fingerprints are all over the place and you was like, nah, I wasn't there. This is well obvious. Like, a grasp for the obvious, R.I.P. OJ. Stat lined this up perfectly to give the U mad shine. She said, we won't start with the University of Miami. We'll start with FSU losing 2 weeks in a row, so we know that they ain't shit. Then we gonna start with Miami beating Florida, since everybody used to love Florida so much, since they've been the most relevant team in the last 20 years, and how we're the best team in Florida. Guess that. You take the stage. This has been lined up for you. Go ahead and say everything that you want to say.
Well, I will say, I think it was just a coincidence. A lot of people were talking about FSU playing badly because they clearly have a problem. As far as Miami, I did not get this, okay? At school, we were not winning. Shout out to my sister. She now goes to University of Miami. I'm happy that she gets to go to a winning game day. They have a pretty good schedule. They play FAMU next. Shout out FAMU. I do think that Miami is going to beat y'all. Love the Rattlers, but the U is back. That's what I'm going to say. Cam Ward is already in top 5 quarterback discussions for next year's draft. He did play exceptionally well. And then another person, Kim McCormick, because we got 2 Cams. He's a 9th-year senior. We talked about this last season. I kind of want to bring it back up. He did score a touchdown in one of the opening drives.
He better score in the 9 years since the damn school. Go ahead. My bad side. I didn't even interrupt you.
Senior.
My bad side. You know what? I want you to finish because let her finish. She had this shit playing down. It's rolling perfectly. Go ahead.
I'm just saying,
she have all the names and everything.
Yeah. No, because check out the stat. I interviewed Cam McCormick to talk about his journey about, going into his 9th year, because for me, that's unheard of. But if that benefits him and that benefits Miami, do what y'all got to do to win some games, because we've been losing for far too long. It's time. Hopefully y'all win your next game. You should. And we'll see what happens.
This is 9th year.
That's what I was going to ask you guys about next.
How old is he?
26, I think.
Playing against 18-year-old players.
Yeah.
We used to call that ringing where we're from.
Yeah, that's a fact. And this is not just a regular ringing.
Yeah.
This is a wild ringing.
Yeah.
Ringing was when you was 2 months over the deadline.
Yeah, this
26-year-olds playing against 18-year-olds is wild, man.
Yeah, and how do you celebrate that?
Because if he gets a chance, he gets a chance.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're in the park, you're a grown man playing against middle schoolers.
Yeah.
How do you celebrate that you got a basket?
But the reality is, I've seen that. And grown men be so happy to beat these little kids in those games, because to them, a win is a win. I'm not trying to compare that, because college people start at all ages.
Maybe these was his COVID years. Who knows?
It was a couple COVID years.
He
had an injury. He had to transfer. Like, he did go through a lot, so he wasn't actually able to physically play a full-on year.
49ers.
Yo, Murder, let me give you a stat real quick, Murder. Just real quick. NFL players 26 and under: Jamar Chase, Trevor Lawrence, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson. These are Nick Bosa. You know what Nick Bosa be doing to people in the NFL? You know what Nick Bosa be hurting NFL players? Nick Bosa.
Imagine he was in Oregon.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine Nick Bosa today playing at college football. This is crazy. Michael Parsons, Andrew Thomas. It's a long list of NFL players that superstars or all-stars are very good that's doing work in the NFL. So a 26-year-old person doing this to little kids is P, right or wrong? Diabolical. Insane. So, Stat, if you feel good about this,
you feel good about him playing 26U.
I'm not going to necessarily say I feel good about the age, but if he beat the system, if anybody else could do it, they would do the same thing. Like, if they get in another shot at trying to be in the league, I can't knock on somebody who's doing it at a later age. Yes, it sounds unfair, and, he has less upside compared to players who are younger, but if he did it, and I can't knock on that.
NCAA, listen here. We got to get a cutoff date. I know we fixed NILs, but y'all are getting too carried away. This is definitely a come on, my nigga moment.
Yeah, at its highest level.
At its highest level.
At its highest level. And it's appropriate. This is a super duper pause. Come on, my nigga. Like, if I see him,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, let me look. Really? I'm gonna go really. Really?
Yeah.
Like Murder said though, seriously, you can't. I dig it because it's your 9th year, y'all win the game. I know you're not in there celebrating. You can't be celebrating. You know how niggas be celebrating? You can't be celebrating, nigga. You out your mind.
The 30-year-old rookie as well.
Yeah, 40-year-old version.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, let me ask you this, Stat.
Okay.
You with beating the system in anything then?
Would I beat the system?
No.
You're
Whatever. You're with beating the system in anything, not just Miami. You're cool with beating the system.
She said if you can get away
Yeah,
with
If
it.
you can get away with it, hey, you can get away with it. Like, I don't know. He got approved.
Stat, it's not
Like,
about
that's
him.
a difficult question though, because some things are like, but like he got the approval for
I'm
it.
not talking
Your
about him.
Duval County
I'm
side
asking
came
you,
out.
I'm asking you, are you cool with beating the system in any category?
Any category, no. In certain situations, yes.
I'm cool with beating the system, but not just this category. I don't like beating the system in this particular category, but any other category, I kind of like beating the system.
Okay. That's a fair
But I
point,
respect
guess.
it. You're a homer. I dig it. I'm not mad at your opinion, but you lined this up sensational. Future voice sensational. You lined the first two topics up perfectly, and you had your shit ready to talk. I knew this. She had that shit ready to go.
Season 5, we covered strong, y'all. And if Miami is winning, and don't even let me get with the Steelers, it's
my
over.
gosh.
Lovely times, guys.
Stat.
Okay, so let's go on to USC. They beat LSU 27-20 here in Vegas. They actually broke a record amount of fans at 63,969 people who were in attendance at the game. This passed the attendance record for the attendance at the Super Bowl. So one, what do you guys think of LSU's loss, USC's win, and then what do you guys think of the impact college football has knowing that they had that many fans that surpassed the amount of people who were in attendance for the Super Bowl?
To tell the truth, I'm not really surprised, especially because it's in Vegas when you put a team with the storyline of LSU and their fans are nuts. Pause. They'll come to any place for a LSU game, and then you put them against a story team like USC. USC is pretty much like 3 hours away driving, 45 minutes on a flight. It was set up, perfectly for marketing and all of those things. So I'm not really surprised that you would get those type of fans there because these are 20,000 seater schools and things like that. So, and they took Vegas as a trip, coming all the way out to Vegas is like, hey, we can go party and we can go watch the game. We can kill two birds with one stone. And that's what I got to say about that. But when it comes to, I didn't see the game. Who lost?
LSU.
LSU losing is not a good thing, especially to USC because these are teams you want to beat. And Cam, I know you got something better this year.
No, not really. I mean, basically what I do want to say is that I do like for the last few seasons what college football is doing. We used to get terrible games at the beginning of the season. Yeah. Teams that wasn't ranked, you would have the number 2 team ranked in college playing some off-brand school from, I don't even want to say a state for somebody gets mad, but the number 220 team in the country. Yeah. And what they've been doing the last 3 or 4 years of putting top 25 teams against each other the first 2-3 weeks. And that makes more excitement for college football. And that's probably why you get the attendance better than the Super Bowl. Historic schools as far as USC, of course, you got RP OJ. LSU, of course, look, Joe Burrow, my nigga. You see, he went over there and act crazy. And I just think it's dope with they're doing, because I used to watch the beginning of college football and be like, we're not going to see good games to the playoffs. They didn't smack them. It was a really good game. They won by a touchdown. But I'm more impressed with the fact that we're getting good games early. As far as you made a super duper great take again. USC is a hop, skip, and the jump from Vegas. LSU fans are going to travel to see their team, especially against USC. And both these teams are ranked in the top 25. So as far as the attendance is concerned, you got to think about this as well. Their ticket price is not what the Super Bowl ticket prices were.
Yeah.
You take that into
Can't
account.
leave that out.
Yeah, can't. You can't act like you're charging these families what you were charging to go to the Super Bowl. But it's really good to see that they had a great attendance and college football's in a great place.
There you go. Okay, so now that we are approaching NFL games, right now, who do you guys believe has the most complete team? And in your opinion, the best team right now? Give me your two, because I can guess what you're going to say, but give me a couple.
Barring injury.
I would go for. I mean, you got to go Title Town. I know it was great. We had this big old college take, but when it comes to the NFL, you got to go Title Town. Is Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs until somebody prove us otherwise. Is nothing even to talk about. I don't even really need to be up here. I should just wear a Kansas City helmet and put it right here on the table and just let that speak for itself. But secondly, I would go with, and y'all might be surprised by this, but I'm going to go with San Francisco. Those are going to be my top two teams. I know some people would go Lamar Jackson, but I saw something, pause, in Lamar last year that made me know he may not be ready yet. And I think if San Francisco get the opportunity to correct some of the errors they made in the championship last year, I think they'll be right back in the hunt.
Murder.
Yeah.
This dude right here. It's so coincidental that the two favorites are Kansas City and San Francisco. Those are the two.
Told me to name my two.
It's crazy that your two are the top team. The top two teams that's gonna go to the championship. You didn't know that though, huh? That's crazy. That just coincidentally that your two are the top two that are gonna go back.
I'm from Title Town. Those are the two I had to think from.
Well, listen. To be honest with you, if I had to pick, those are the same two teams that I would pick too. The best, if we're talking about complete teams,
Yeah.
we just had this convo 2 days ago. I guess they were listening to not just us, but they knew damn well they couldn't start the season without Trent. They got that contract done yesterday. They sitting there saying, if we don't get Trent signed, Purdy ain't going to be able to get shit done. So they got that deal done. Ayuk is back. Kittle's getting a little older. They got Debo still in the building. It looks good. Patrick Mahomes, he has some new young receivers that he's working with. They just signed Juju Smith-Schuster because a couple of their receivers went down. We'll see what happens with that. Pacheco is back. Kelsey is back. If we're going with complete teams, those are the two teams I pick. But I'm going to take those two teams out the equation for the simple fact that that's almost a grasp on the obvious of not talking about Mase Neave, I'm talking about just period of word to mother, not even talking about you. Like those are, everybody's expecting that to be the final two teams. But if we're going to go outside the box,
go Detroit.
Detroit's the fourth favorite to win it all. Detroit is favorite this year. They're fourth actually.
What about Baltimore?
Baltimore's in there. I'm not sure. Baltimore might be
Okay, so
third.
let's take those four out. If we take those four paws out, who's your two?
I was getting to it. And I know what you're going to say after I say this. Now let me talk to you. Joe Burrow, could you go talk to management and get the Jamar shit done, please? Because I think they will get Kansas City out of there
Oh, my goodness.
we get this contract done. Now, Joe, it's on you. All you got to do is go to management and tell them niggas, look, we are not going to win if we don't get this contract done. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
So you would go with the Bengals.
No, I'm going to do one for each conference. So
Okay.
Bengals would be my team in the AFC, and in the NFC, if it isn't the 49ers, yeah, NFC is really, really good, really good. I think I'm going to go with Philadelphia. I think that Jalen Hurts didn't have a great season last year. A lot of it was due to injury. I didn't think he likes the whispers. And then they add Saquon Barkley to the mix, who has a point to prove because he feels that the Giants did him wrong. Not only that he goes to Philly, you put Saquon Barkley in the same division against the niggas who he was that shit on him. That's, y'all niggas is bugging. So outside of the 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs, I'm going to go with those two, just thinking outside the box.
I'm going to go, let me think of a team. I would go Philadelphia Eagles and the Jets. Yeah, now watch. They come back winning this year. I don't want to hear nothing. Laugh now. Laugh now. Nick, say this take, Nick. Say this take. Aaron Rodgers come back going crazy, pause. Niggas gonna be like, oh, New Jersey, the Jets. Everybody gonna be back on the Jets.
Well, listen, I will say this: their defense for the last however many years has been impeccable. The reason that they went and got an Aaron Rodgers is because they needed some offense to at least match their defense.
Yeah,
we didn't get to see that last year, and that's not a bad pick if we're getting the Aaron Rodgers that we seen 2 years ago, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. If we get into Aaron Rodgers, we don't know. He hasn't really played any preseason games. He doesn't show up to practice. We have no idea. But Aaron Rodgers may know something that we don't know. So I'm not going to be mad at that pick. It's just that
it's just a real we don't know about.
We don't know. Look, listen. Aaron Rodgers come out balling. Their defense is good enough to get something done. It's about what the offense is going to do. So Nick, erase the tape, actually, because if it goes right, I don't got time to be hearing this nigga week after week after week.
So let's look at the flip side. Who do you guys feel like is the worst teams in the league?
I mean, put the camera right here. The worst team is obvious. It got to be North Carolina Panthers and the Patriots. I never thought I would put the Patriots in this category, but it got to be the Patriots. And they're selling North Carolina tickets for $1. It doesn't get any worse than that. I don't know if they're going to be able to have a salary cap. If you're selling tickets for $1, that's worse than Detroit selling chicken and giving out chicken if niggas get 100 points or something.
I hate to agree with, but those were the same two teams that I was going to pick. I promise you, those were the same two teams they're going to pick. And you know why? North Carolina for obvious reasons. But when I sat there and seen, instead, Google my nigga, the Patriots 2 quarterbacks. When the rookie had a great, was it Drake May? I believe so. He had a outstanding, this Drake, right?
Yeah.
He had an outstanding preseason, super duper dope preseason, and they're not starting him. And that says a lot. That says we ain't gonna do this to you, my nigga. We ain't got no weapons for you. Special teams and defense don't look good. We working with a new coach. We're gonna save your talent to when we get some more talent and weapons to put around you. Because of the preseason that he had, he should absolutely be starting. Yeah. But when they said he's not starting, I said, yeah, they trying to tank early. My nigga, just get some more niggas. So those are the same two teams. I hate to agree with you so much and shit, but those were absolutely the two teams that I was gonna name.
Would you be mad if that was you? You got drafted and then somebody didn't play you because they said we're saving you to the next season?
In this particular situation, no, I wouldn't be mad. Usually I might be mad, but what's going to happen is don't throw me out there and when the season over, my record is 2-16. So it looked like I started my career off fucked up. Niggas dropping passes. Niggas is not doing what they need to do to protect me. So it looks like I had a fucked up season.
Your QBR be super low.
Right. So I wouldn't be mad in this particular situation. Now, if the team isn't doing good and it gets towards the end of the season, week 11, 12, 13, throw me in there for a few games. But you can't risk injury to the future of the franchise.
It also looks better for Drake May because they are starting 31-year-old Jacoby Brissett. But like, if he does come in and becomes like the savior, you know, it makes him look better in the long run. Sorry that Jacoby has to take the fall, but I mean, Drake May is obviously a lot younger, so it benefits him more in the long run. Okay, so we talked about the 49ers. Trent Williams ends his holdout. He finalized a 3-year, $82.66 million deal. He will make $27.6 million in salary in 2024 on the new contract, the most cash for any lineman in the first year of a contract, according to his agency. So one, what do you guys think of his deal? And then considering Jamar Chase is still waiting for a deal, if you guys were in his shoes, would you not play the first game?
Oh, I'm not going anywhere without my money. Especially if everybody else got paid and people got paid that are not as good as you, it's going to be extremely hard, to go out there, get, you know, and compete.
But real quick, Murder, I want you to finish what you're saying, but this goes back to what I was talking about with Mike Irvin. He's still under contract. Niggas be wanting new contracts in the middle of their old contract.
We paid you for that. Okay.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Like,
you right.
That's what I was talking
Niggas
about with Mike
paid
Irvin
already.
Yeah, this season you're paid for. Niggas be wanting other contracts for new season. So I just want to throw that out there.
You right. Nigga, get out there and play, nigga. They paid you for that already. Give me the games I paid for, and then we'll negotiate that. Yeah, we got to start talking to them like bosses. As a worker, you agree with him. But as a boss, imagine you paid a nigga for weeks. He talking about, you know, I ain't get paid for 2025. Nigga, it's 2024, nigga. We need burgers on the grill right now in 2024. What you gonna do about that?
That's what I was asking the nigga Mike Irvin the other day. I'm like, yo, these niggas be wanting new contracts. And look, and listen, NFL players, I just want to learn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mike Irvin broke it down great because he's a former NFL player, and he feels for y'all. If I'm an owner, see, I'm a boss nigga. No disrespect. And if I, like Murder just said, I paid you for this year.
Yeah.
And now we got to, so now you can't play this year for the games I paid you for because you worrying about the next 4 or 5 years. What happens is this. This would be happening, Murder. They cause a reason to get an attitude so when they leave. So now, Let's say he does play this year. He balls out and they be like, we got you.
Yeah.
Nah, they gonna be like, nah, you ain't want to give it to me earlier. So it's a catch-22 with that. I like what you just said.
Yeah,
I think it's a good take. This is why I was asking again, Mike Irvin is. But if that kid don't play, it's gonna be a problem. There's 2 things what I would say about this situation. It's a lot of things you could say. Now, first of all, we know Joe Burrow need this nigga. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's first and foremost. Secondly, how much money is he gonna miss out if he don't play? Because if you don't play, you start missing games, you start getting fined. Not just fined, you start not getting paid. How deep is his pockets now to afford to try and do that?
Yeah.
Last thing is, on my take is, say he ball out the first 7 games and be like, you know we was just getting shit together for you. And now he like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to finish the season out. There's a lot of different scenarios in this situation. Me personally, if I'm the owner of the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm paying him only because the other owners set the table already.
Yeah.
They paid everybody else. So now you're looking like the whack owner. You know what I'm saying, Pete?
You're the only one not paying.
You're the only one. Everybody else
paying.
Everybody else pays. So now you're sitting there looking like, I don't know if I could really work here like that because it's other places I could go work.
And where be appreciated.
And then the next thing is they'll turn it racial. You took care of the white man.
I hate when black people do that.
Yeah, they talk about Joe Burrow. You gave him almost $300 million. I can't get mine. Okay, figure it out. If I'm the owner of the Cincinnati Bengals, pay this kid before this turns into a bigger problem than what it is.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I mean, look at us, Killa. We ain't just not come to work.
Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, Murder, who gonna tell us anything?
Yeah, but I'm saying we about to renegotiate, but we ain't take that approach.
Yeah,
we came and just turned up.
Yeah, listen, man. At the end of, and that's a great point. That's really a great point. But at the end of the day, it's like I said, people look to create problems, and not in a bad way. It's to get more money. It's a holdout, and it was years where the whole NFL did this. And when I say the whole NFL, when they have lockouts, and everything else, and niggas be getting I don't know if you remember, we talked about Doug Williams stuff a day the year he won. It was a lockout year. Niggas trying to get replacements and everything else. I don't know, man. I would pay, bro. I would pay. I just to get this right, because what you don't want to do is the season start off and niggas is dropping passes.
Yeah.
And then it's looking like, see, I tried to holler at y'all niggas. I'm good. I can afford to take a season off. Who took a season off? Le'Veon Bell? He was up here talking about it. Some niggas take season off, and that always doesn't even benefit the player as well, because, and shout out to Le'Veon, I'm not talking about you, you're my brother, but to me, and I'm not saying because of the skill level, we didn't get the Le'Veon in Pittsburgh with the Jets during that year. I don't know if it was because he changed teams or the system or whatever, but he wasn't never the same Le'Veon Bell he was in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then not to mention just with Jamar Chase, he definitely deserves it, because when you look at the highest paid wide receivers, Justin Jefferson's at 1, then CeeDee Lamb, then A.J. Brown. We even got Ayuk, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. I think Jamar Chase is deserving to be on that list, even aside from just numbers. Like when you look at rankings and how he plays.
Yeah, he definitely should be on that list.
Yeah, so maybe they'll make some shake before their game on Sunday, but if not, we will see what's next for Jamar Chase. So we're going to go to break. When we return, we will discuss the Steelers' quarterback situation. Don't go anywhere.
You couldn't wait to get to this.
Welcome back. Now let's get into our Underdog Fantasy picks of the day. So the Eagles will play the Packers this Friday. Underdog Fantasy has Jalen Hurts at 36.5 rushing yards. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase?
Higher.
I'm going to go higher as well.
Okay. Jordan Love is at 257.5 passing yards. Do you have him higher or lower, Cam?
Higher.
Higher.
Okay. And Saquon is at half of receiving and rushing touchdown. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase?
Of course, Saquon is going to be higher than that.
I hate when it's a day when I have to agree every single one with this nigga, but I'm going to go higher as well.
Okay, there you have it. Make sure to use code MACE, CAM, or STAT. You can get a first deposit match up to $1,000, y'all. $1,000. So download the Underdog Fantasy app, and you can make your picks too. So moving along, Russell Wilson was officially named the starting quarterback for the Steelers. Do you guys believe this was the right choice?
Killa, you go first.
Stat, you go first.
That's great. Okay. My opinion, do I believe this was the right choice? I'm going to say yes. I don't think it was ever a quarterback battle. In preseason, we saw a lot of great flashes from Justin Fields, and people were like, we prefer him over Russell Wilson. But like Russell Wilson did have an injury during training camp. He wasn't able to, play to his full extent. But we've seen flashes from Russell Wilson. And at the end of the day, he's the more seasoned quarterback. He's a 9-time Pro Bowler. He has a ring. If we're going to try to win, we need to win with somebody who's already won. And I know I've talked about Russell Wilson in the past, okay? He's not my favorite, but by default, he is my favorite now because he's playing for my favorite team. And I think as, Mike Tomlin being the coach, right? it looks really bad to have somebody as seasoned as Russell Wilson and be like, yeah, we're going to have you sit on the bench and we're going to start Justin Fields. It doesn't look good. So that instills confidence in him. He's still giving Justin Fields hope. He's, uplifting him, praising him, telling him that he's still a good quarterback. This is just not your time right now. And we're playing the Falcons for our first game. I'm not worried about that. I mean, it is Kirk Cousins now. I know.
Falcons is all right.
I know.
Yeah,
And now there's Kirk Cousins, but I'm not.
You should be
I'm not.
worried.
Talk about,
But
you
I'm
ain't
not.
worried about the Falcons.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Falcons all right,
that's
man.
I'm not.
crazy stuff.
I'm not saying the Falcons are bad, but I'm saying I'm not worried. I think that maybe I'm delusional because the more I talk to other people and I see
Maybe.
how they are about their teams, I see it on the
Maybe.
flip side, but I don't see it for myself.
Maybe.
I don't think I am.
Oh.
I don't
But
think I
that's
am.
the whole thing about being delusional. You don't think you are.
Can't argue with that. Cannot argue with
All
that.
right, well, listen.
Is it possible? I know I said this last season, but is it possible for two things to be right?
Yes.
Can he mentor Justin Fields from the bench? Is that possible?
I mean, I definitely think yes, and I don't think Justin Fields is here without a reason. Like, I think he is supposed to be our future. And at the end of the day, they're both better than the quarterbacks that we previously had. Shout out Kenny Pickett. I support him when he was on the team. Kenny Pickett's aight. Mitch Trubisky's aight. But they're not Russell Wilson and Justin Fields.
I just don't see that future is near if Russell Wilson start playing good.
Yeah, but
If
he's
he
getting
start
older.
I know, but this is the same program that kept Roethlisberger around a long time. So if it works in the system, Tomlin is gonna keep him around.
Yeah. And we talked about it earlier, though. Sometimes people beat the system. So you don't know what's next for Justin Fields.
Stat you catching on. Stat, I like that. You just quick on your feet. You brought a bad comment back. Where's OJ when we need him?
Yeah, what I like to say, and again, I look at America. I wanted to see what Stat was going to say because the way she shit on Russell Wilson last year was just ridiculous. Like bad. It wasn't like a little bit diss Russell Wilson. It was his best days is behind him. He's not what he should be. It was
detoxed him.
I might pull up next week because it's going to take a week to get all the stuff that she said bad about Russell Wilson last season. It was crazy. Like it was like, I'm not exaggerating. She just was dissing him. Then he had one good game. She's like, maybe. And then when he lost again, she's like, see, I told you. So for her to say that she's happy that he's the starting quarterback is just wild to me. That's first and foremost. Secondly, I kind of agree with her though. She did get his job built off his resume, what he's done in the past. Justin Fields, he doesn't really have a resume like that. He didn't do too much in Chicago. He didn't have a lot of help to do anything with in Chicago, so we never get a chance to see his full potential. But primarily, to me, this is based off of Russell Wilson's past. I still see no fight in Russell Wilson's attitude. I still see everything's hunky-dory. He's making a shit, you know what I'm saying, skipping around like everything. It'll be a good competition for the star quarterback, nigga. You got to get a little more attitude.
Yeah.
Steelers are only paying him $1.2 million, but he's getting a shitload of money still from the Denver Broncos because of their contract. Sean Payton didn't want him there. That was just a battle between him and Sean Payton. They end up keeping Sean Payton, but they still have to pay Russell Wilson. We'll see what happens. I think that this is the right choice, but we have no idea really what Justin Fields could do because I don't think Chicago was really that good or he had that much weapons around him to see what he really can do. What I will say is this, that Mike Tomlin is very seasoned. We know he hasn't had a losing season in forever, if ever. And I think he's not going to make a poor decision based on his feelings. I think he's going to do what's best for the Steeler organization. So if Mike T says this is who needs to start, I take him as face value for it.
Yeah.
And Russell better not mess this up. Russell, look at me. You better not mess Tomlin record up as a black head coach.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So do you guys feel like if...
Because real quick,
Yeah.
man, I want to ask you a question. Because Mike Tomlin is fucking very well spoken.
Mm-hmm.
Says the right things. You could tell he's a great head coach on the sidelines. all of that. But you could tell in his off time, he's a nigga.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Russell Wilson ain't no nigga now, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't fuck real nigga shit up. And Mike Tomlin is very, and I'm gonna be honest with you, he's very well spoken. Everything, he does everything right. But you could tell when he at home, he wanted them, nigga, please, nigga. He says, nigga, please, or fuck out of here. We can see he's that type of nigga. Don't come over here with your light skin shit and fuck all the shit up, your baby hairs on your head and all this. Don't fuck shit up, Russell. Please. Sorry, Stat.
No, all good. I was just going to follow up basically. So if Russell Wilson performs badly, do you guys feel like his career is just over?
Either on the field or off it. Because I don't think he can afford to play with Tomlin right now.
I don't think his career is over because you got to think about it. Pardon me, y'all. You got to think about it. There's 3 quarterbacks on every team. He could be a third stringer somewhere, not even necessarily a backup.
Yeah.
So it'll be room for him somewhere. Unless he want to be Sierra backup dancer.
I'm not going nowhere near that. Shout out to CC.
Shout out to CC, nigga. That wasn't nothing bad to CC. Put it like this. I'll tell you this much.
You can see him hitting the dance.
Let me ask you this, brother.
You don't like it, but your chick love it.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you a question. And I ask you too, P. If she asked him to do it, do you think he'd do it?
Yeah.
He looked like if she say so for a show or two.
Can you see him do it?
If she asked him to do it, that nigga be everything. I think he likes her that much that he's gonna do what she asks him to do.
Stat, hit the D-Lo dance. You can see them doing the D-Lo dance.
I don't know about that, but yeah. Last thing I will say is, I mean, as a Steelers fan, I do trust Mike Tomlin and what he has to do, but this is also putting his career on the line. Yes, he has a winning record, but we have not won a playoff game since 2016. So I think we're getting a little bit too comfortable with mediocre.
So
like,
what are
yes,
you
we're winning.
trusting?
I'm trusting the process because at this point, that's all I can do.
Oh my goodness, you didn't learn nothing from Philadelphia. You gonna bring Philadelphia to Pittsburgh? I see what you're doing.
It's all in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I see what you're doing.
We will see what happens. So moving along, where there's been quite the WNBA drama, this time concerning Sheryl Swoopes. So it's involving her and Caitlin Clark. Basically, she tried to downplay Caitlin Clark breaking the NCAA scoring record. She said that Clark played 5 seasons of collegiate ball and took over 40 shots per game when discussing how she broke the record her senior year. And then as a result, it's reported she was removed from the WNBA broadcast due to the comments that she made about Caitlin. She also went on a show talking about the Fever's overall improvement for the season. She mentioned Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hull, and Kelsey Mitchell, but she left Caitlin Clark out of the discussion when talking about the Fever's improvement. So overall, the people are saying that they feel like Sheryl is being a hater and that she doesn't like Caitlin Clark. And she also went on a Twitter rant and released some private messages between her and Clark, basically talking about the situation. Overall, thoughts on all of it, and do you feel like she's ruining her legacy by continuing to have these discussions?
I'm not sure if she's ruining it, but it's definitely putting a dark cloud around her. You know, when you think of what Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA, just coming in this year, at first it looked a little shaky for Caitlin Clark, and now it just looked like she found a stride. And Killa was saying earlier about how Angel Reese got, you know, the most rebounds pretty much ever in a season or something like that. So I wanted to quote that right. And when they're balling like this, when somebody elderly come in and says something, it automatically looks like hate. You might as well just stay out of it. I mean, I'm not going to give any credit to myself that I'm wearing the Fever's colors, but you know, that's another conversation.
This nigga here, boy. And it don't even matter what team. We would have said the Packers, the Pacers.
You Killa.
You actually wearing Steeler colors too, actually.
Killa. No, this is navy and yellow.
Okay. From here it looks
black
black.
and yellow, black and yellow.
Yeah, that's what it looked like from here, man.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I said. Oh my goodness.
I like the way we're playing now, though. For real.
Oh.
The Fever.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm just playing. That was a good one. I'm triggering niggas today.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna feed into it this early. It's too early in the season. We 3 shows in. I'm not doing it.
I'm following Stanley. Stat said we're playing great. It was only one game.
Niggas 1-0. Y'all niggas is
Stat
wild,
getting
man.
a question off the internet. She don't even know they only won one game.
I do my research.
That's crazy.
That's wild. Crazy shit is nigga turned it on status. Wild.
Right.
Both of y'all is wild, man. Sheryl Swoopes was dumb nice though. You know what I'm saying? Sheryl Swoopes, if somebody could have something to say, it's Sheryl Swoopes. It's names that you always remember coming up. And like I said, the game wasn't evolved as it is now, but it's certain names that I remember as a teenager growing up and hearing about the WNBA. It's Lisa Leslie and Sheryl Swoopes. Those are the 2 names that kind of stood out. And then, Candace Parker and everybody else came along. But I think what Mase is saying is kind of correct as far as ruining legacy. But at the same time, you got to think about this, Murder. We sitting there having a convo yesterday, I believe, about how Ant-Man says Jordan's the only one with skills. These girls don't know Sheryl Swoopes, so her word may not even matter to what they said. Now, some of these females may do their homework and be a historian of the WNBA more than the guys maybe. But I bet you Ant-Man don't know who Sheryl Swoopes is. You get what I'm saying? But I think this is what's going on, and older black people in general seeing real racism, and I'm not saying Sheryl Swoopes is one of them. And me and Mase are not that old, where our parents, or not even our parents aren't that old, but our grandparents are one of them. Seeing segregated bathrooms and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? You may bump into, you guys grew up in the South, so y'all may have still seen racism more than others that's from the city.
Yeah, they still, in some places, they still act like that now.
Right, absolutely. Yes. And I don't know where Sheryl Swoopes grew up at, but you're being obvious.
Texas.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah. It's a federal flag. Yeah, exactly.
So this is reverse racism.
Reverse racism.
Okay.
Exactly. But I'm saying even if it's not, it seems obvious. Yeah. It seems like,
there's something else other than basketball.
Right. Because if you're giving everybody on the team credit except for Caitlin Clark, what's the problem? Because, Caitlin Clark is good, whether you like it or not. And listen, I do want to apologize to Leah Boston. No, I don't want to apologize to Leah Boston. I want to say we've gotten much better as the season went along. I was hard on you.
Yeah, don't apologize to her.
Yeah, my bad, Marta. I'm bugging.
You bugging out.
Yeah, I'm bugging out. But she has got better. And not just she got better. They got better as a team. The Indiana Fever, they clinched the playoff spot first time in 8 years. We going to act like that should be ignored? It's a lot of rookies that come in and can't make a difference for their team. And I know it's not as many teams in the WNBA as it is in the NBA, but it's enough to where they haven't made in 8 years. And this first round pick means a lot because, the first overall pick means a lot to get them there. Now, think about this. You had 2 number 1 picks in a row. That helped out a lot. You don't usually get 2 number 1 picks in a row. Congratulations to the Fever. Sheryl Swoopes. If it isn't just basketball, or if it's more than basketball, what I say is disguise it a little better, because it does look a little bit racist.
Okay. And then just real quick regarding Aaliyah Boston, she did score her 1,000th career point.
Dope.
Shout out to her because she is doing her thing. They did improve
Shout
a
out
lot.
to her.
And then Cam did mention it. So the Fever did clinch a spot in the WNBA playoffs. This is the first time since the 2016 regular season that the Fever has been able to do that. So knowing that stat, what do you guys think of their accomplishment? And then basically Caitlin Clark's impact.
Killa.
Who's the number one pick in the NBA last year? If you can remember, I'm not off the top of my. Was it Wemby? Wemby.
Yeah.
They ain't going no damn playoffs. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of times.
That's a great point.
You get what I'm saying? The number one pick is not going to bring your team to playoffs or near championship experience. And that's why I kind of brought it up in the last statement. I was saying it's very rare that you get two number one picks back to back. And I think that also helped out. So that means you got the best player in college, women's college basketball, 2 years in a row. I think this is great, sensational. I mean, it's showing that Caitlin Clark found her footing late during the season for them to get there, because in the beginning of the season didn't look like this was going to happen. And she kind of figured it out. Not only that, people like Diana Taurasi made it seem like it was going to be such a big, long road ahead of her before she got herself situated in the WNBA. Not only has she got herself situated, Angel Reese has got herself situated. So these are two rookies that you said, Diana Taurasi, have a long way to go. And they're breaking all type of records, both of them. So salute to both of them young ladies. But as far as the Indiana Fever are concerned, congratulations, man. First time in 8 years is a big deal. You have a certified superstar and a franchise player on the team. Good luck.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so before we end, we've got special guest Edgar Berlanga. He was born in Brooklyn and has a 22-0 record with 17 knockouts. And on September 14th, he is set to fight Canelo at T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. He's fighting in his first title fight and first pay-per-view event. Edgar, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, what's up, man? How you?
Yo, Cam, what up, man?
Shit, everything good, yo. So look, we know you from Brooklyn. What part of Brooklyn you from?
From Bushwick, but I'm from Lower East Side too. Like I lived all over. Like Mom Dukes, you know what I'm saying? Like we was from Bruce houses and shit, you know what I'm saying? And then I lived like 5 years in Douglas Projects.
Okay.
I lived and we was in Hunts Point in the shelter homes, you know what I'm saying? I lived in Webster Projects in the Bronx and shit.
Okay. What gym did you come up in?
In Brooklyn. I started in a gym called Brother Boxing in Bushwick, and then we went to the east. We went to East New York, and we went to a boxing gym called Star Rack City. That's like Danny Jacobs, Saddam Ali, Luis Collazo, all, you know what I'm saying, all the legends and stuff came out of that gym.
No, that's what's up. So look, I know your father trains you. You think that's the best fit for your training? For your being your trainer?
Nah, hell no, my father never trained me.
Oh, pardon me. Then I got that wrong. I apologize.
Nah, my pops, he was more like, he's my manager now, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, manager,
Pops,
pardon me. That's
Yeah.
I got that misconstrued. You think that's best fit being your manager, I should say.
Oh, of course, man. You know, Pops was I'm the reason why I'm here is because of my father, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Even though Pops did time in jail and shit, he went away, but, you know, I stuck to the plan and shit, you know what I'm saying? Even when he went away and there's time, when he came home, you know, I still stuck to the plan and into his vision, you know what I'm saying? Which was my vision too, but I was young at the time. You know, when you're young, you feel me, you don't understand, like, he's seen something already in me, you feel me? He's seen the stardom, he's seen everything, like he's seen everything that's happening now. He's seen that shit already, you know. So when I was younger, I didn't really understand, you know. But thank God, you know, that, you know, he went away. I stood on a path, you feel me? I stood in the gym, I stood training, I stood going to tournaments and shit, you know, because of my old trainer picking me up from school and all that. But yeah, man, you know, my father definitely, you know, the reason why I'm here is because of him.
Right. So I seen one time you mentioned Hector Camacho. My uncle used to train Hector Camacho. Shout out to my uncle Billy Giles. Is that somebody you watched? I know you're kind of young to even know about Camacho like that. Is that because you stayed on the east side? What do you know about Camacho, and did you pick up anything from that?
Nah, man, shit. Macho Camacho, he's a legend, man. You know, he from El Barrio. Right. And, you know, my family from, I told you my family from 112th and 3rd Ave, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
From Jeff.
Yeah.
And stuff. So, you know, every year, the festival right on the corner, you know what I'm saying? We be out there, you know, wilding, you know, showing love and
Killa,
shit. But,
Killa.
Yeah.
Nah, forget all that. Edgar. We want to know, do you really think you're going to beat Canelo? This is what I want to know. I got to ask the real questions. Come on, man. Y'all playing around. What made you think you're going to beat Canelo?
Nah, of course, man. You know, we got the opportunity, right? And, you know, right now, like, I got the whole world against me, for me. Mm-hmm. But one thing I know for sure, I got this opportunity for a reason, you know? And you know, you got to take your hat off to Canelo. You know, he did what he did, you know, but I feel like it's past his time already, you know what I'm saying? It's
Edgar, you can't take your hat off. You can't take your hat off to Canelo and beat him, man. I'm telling you that.
What you mean? No. As a fighter, I respect him, but I don't. As a fighter, what he done in box, I respect him. But me and him fighting, I don't got no respect for the nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all right, that's the Harlem I know. That's the Harlem I know.
Like, no, and I want to tell you this too, like. I don't respect big homies. I heard you saying it before. You don't respect big homies.
You was giving me big homie vibes.
I don't respect that nigga, bro.
Yeah, I don't respect that nigga.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I don't respect them.
I thought you was giving them.
Put them out, yo.
I thought you was giving big homie vibes, and you know I can't go with that.
Nah, never that, man.
He talking like he from Harlem,
listen,
right? I like that.
Listen, we come from New York, you heard?
Yeah.
And I heard you, and shout out to Prince, but Prince know we from New York, you feel me? So we don't got big homies, you know what I'm saying? My big homie for me is Pop Dukes, you know what I'm saying? But a nigga like Canelo, bro, like, nah, yeah, we gotta stomp him out,
so you know the vibes then. Then you know the vibes.
Yeah, I'm getting on my booty, man.
Yeah, so if you had 15 first round knockouts, 16. Do you think Canelo could be 17? I want to go there. 18. I want to go there.
Oh, the 17,
yeah.
Definitely 100%, man. Like I told him in the press conference, I say, yo, bro, you never got hit by these before. You know what I'm saying? It's different, man. Like I don't hit like Triple G. I don't hit like none of those dudes, you know. And you find a real 68 pounder. You're not finding a 154 pounder. You're not finding a 147 pounder. You find a real 68 that, you know what I'm saying, that I done knocked heavyweights out. You feel me? So
if somebody
if
somebody need a Mercedes right now, right? And they were going to underdog fantasy and they were thinking about this fight, is it safe that they can bet their money on you? That's what Killa wants to know. That's what Stat want to know. That's what underdog need to know.
Listen, one thing for sure, right? And I'm not going in there with my tail tucked, you know what I'm saying? You know these niggas, bro, they come in there and they balls, you know what I'm saying? They tucked in, you feel me? And they get scared and shit. Like, at the end of the day, man, like, fuck all that shit, you know? You get what I'm saying? Like, niggas want to tuck their shit and they next thing you know, they got a little toto, you heard? And they like, oh my God, you know, it's Canelo. Like, oh no, like, nah, fuck that, man. Like, that's why I told Canelo, I said, yo, bro, he said, oh, he gonna fuck my money up. He said, oh, don't, in the press conference, we was going back and forth. And he was like, oh, don't make me fuck you up right here. I'm gonna fuck you. I said, nigga, you're not fucking nobody's money up. Well, you have, I can have. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not none of these niggas. I'm not Charlo. I'm not Munguia that just came for payday. You know what I'm saying? They bowing down to him. Nah, we're not doing that,
that's what I wanted to ask you. That's what I wanted to ask you, Ed. When you say tuck your tail, are you referring to Charlo? Because me and Mase went to that fight. We actually went to that fight.
We hated it.
A couple of them, bro, like for real, like, yeah, like niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like tucking their tail, bro. Like you can't do that. Like at the end of the day, there's a sport, you know what I'm saying? You gotta go in there and die on your shield, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit is a gladiator sport, niggas die in this ring, you feel me? So I told him, I said, I'm not, he said, oh, he told me, he said, when he said in the press, he said, why you acting, why you, I said, nah. When we was in New York, you was quiet. You heard? When we was in the press conference in New York, I had 100 niggas outside from Harlem, from Brooklyn, from outside.
Talk,
the
nigga.
niggas like this. We did the Gillian Wallow show. Spent off. You heard? Spent off quick. As soon as we go to LA, I'm like 6 deep. He got like 100. He got like 100 Mexicans with him. You heard? Going crazy. I start going at everybody in there.
Wait.
Fat Joe come like, yo, bro, you going crazy. I'm like, nah, fuck that, because he came like with a different aura, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he on the West Coast and shit, so he's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? He feeling himself and shit. And I was like, nah, he kept laughing in my face. I'm like, nigga, I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? You know how it is, Cam. You know how it is, murder. Like, niggas come in your face, start laughing.
I like his attitude, right?
I like your attitude.
I like
now,
his
this
attitude.
That guy I know. This that guy I know.
Yeah, I like
this that guy I know. That's that only that guy I want to know.
You can't. A nigga like him, you can't go in there showing a nigga respect. That's why I don't respect you. Like, I don't got no respect. So at the end of the day, when I step in that ring with you, you're going to have your family there, right? I'm going to have my son there, my wife. I'm going to have Mom Dukes there. Pop Dukes going to be working. You're not going to have them crying. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to. What you going to do? I'm going to let you beat me up. I'm going to let you hit me. And my mom and my son will be crying. You crazy, bro? I'm gonna send you to the hospital before you send me to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? You know how it is, bro, in the street shit, bro. Like,
somebody got to go in the back of the ambulance.
Yeah.
We know that. Somebody got to go in the back of the ambulance.
I like your attitude.
So I like the attitude.
Yo, let me ask you something real quick, Murder. So I see you beefing with Benavidez and Caleb Plant. Do you think this is jealousy because you got this fight and they didn't?
Nah, yeah. I mean, you know, with Caleb is soft. That nigga's a Twinkie, you heard? Shout out to Benavidez. You know, Benavidez just moved up and shit. And you know, I know he wanted the opportunity, but you know, his opportunity never presented itself. You feel me, for himself and against Canelo. So, but you know, Benavidez is a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? And he like for us, like he like one of us, you know what I'm saying? Like a nigga step in there with anybody. But Plant is a crab. That nigga's he's soft. Like when I say he's soft, he's super soft, you heard? And then it's even more crazy how he was dick riding Canelo in the LA press conference, you heard? I'm like, yo, how the fuck, like, how you doing that, bro? Like, how you dick riding a nigga that knocked you out? That's crazy. The nigga put you on your back and you over here dick riding in front of my face. Like, I'm like, nah, this is crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's wild.
You know what I'm saying?
Are you still cool with Bob Arum? I know you left Top Rank. Are you still cool with them? And not only are you still cool with them, but what's the difference between being with Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn?
Shout out to Bob Arum. You know, he you know he's not really running the Top Rank company no more, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, he's old and stuff, but he fucked with me a lot. You know, I had a lot of issues, you know, like with the son, you know, that's running it, and he just had a different like plan for me. Like he wanted me to do certain things and fight certain people, and he was like, nah, we're not going that route. I want to do this route. He's like, nah, we want you to go this route. I'm like, nah, I want to go this way. So we had like 5-6 meetings, and it was the same shit. Like, I go back, yo, we want to do this. Like, you know, we wanted the Canelo fight. Nah, you can't. You're not gonna get the Canelo fight. We was like, all right. So we gonna buy. I want to buy myself out the contract. You know what I'm saying? And we just part ways like that, and that's how it happened. And then I became a free agent in 2023, and my phone was going off for like a whole 2 months. Like, Floyd called my phone. He wound up getting my number. Floyd called my phone. I spoke to Al Heyman. Oscar De La Hoya flew out from LA, sat down with me and Pops and shit. And then Eddie Hearns came. So, you know how business goes. You know, we sitting down, seeing what they're offering and stuff. And then Eddie Hearns just came with the plan. And then we was like, yo, bro, this is what we want. We want 2 fights. And then we want Canelo. Or we want 1 fight. And we want Canelo. And he was like, let's make it happen. And then we told him about the numbers. We was like, yo, we want this number right here. These are the numbers that we want for these next 3 fights or 2 fights. And he was like, let's do it. So right there, I was like, I bet we fucking with that.
So, you know, like with all great boxers, they say all great boxers hang out with other great boxers. Who is like your core group of people that you're around that keep you going high as a boxer?
I'm not gonna lie, like for real, right? Boxing is weird, right? And that's why I get tight about boxing. You see, like the rap game, right? You see how everybody stick together in the rap game, right? You see, like you and Mase, y'all doing you feel me? Even though y'all, how can I say, like You get what I'm saying? Like with the rap game, I feel like it's more a bond and shit. You know what I'm saying? Even though there's
Yeah.
certain rap dudes out there that be beefing, but nine times, especially from New York, like I feel like it's always a brotherhood shit. You feel me? And boxing, I feel like everybody's like it's weird with boxers, bro. Like I just for real, I just be in my own lane. You know, like one of my favorite fighters is Floyd Mayweather and Andre Ward. You know, Ward came last week and he came out here for for a whole day and shit. We did a podcast and we was just chopping it up and all that, but. You know, like Ward is one of the guys that I look up to for sure. But like I wish like the boxing shit was like the rap game, like where we was all cool. But I don't know, boxers is weird, bro. Like they just I don't know, they just be on some weird shit.
So right now, this day, I want to ask you because you seem to have a good IQ and about boxing and the people that are in it, their makeup. If there was a
Yeah.
fight today between Javante and Shakur, because I know you're cool with Shakur, which one do you think will win, and how you think they will win?
For me, you know, I fuck with Tank. Tank is like for me, Tank is like is like a nigga like me, you know what I'm saying? Knockouts. But as far as and I always said this about Shakur, like people don't like Shakur, right? Because he's a dude that hits and don't get hit,
Yeah,
And
technician.
a lot of times like people like that understand boxing, like a dude like me, I'm in the sport. I love that, you know what I'm saying? Like that's something that I could sit there and that's like a masterpiece for me, you know what I'm saying? But for like people like y'all or like people that's outside of the world of boxing, it's like boring or the niggas, like he's just dirt. You feel me? But a fight between both of them, I think Shakur will win. I think, his IQ. But like I said, Tank is a different beast too. You know what I'm saying? He's different, But I just feel like Tank lately been, he's been losing rounds, and then for me, he catches up to the later rounds, and then he got that pop. You feel me? So he'll go and crack a nigga and end them in the eighth, ninth round. And I feel like with Shakur, he's not gonna be able to do that. You know what I'm saying?
You
In
don't
order for
think?
him to like do something with
Wait,
Shakur,
wait, wait,
he's gonna
wait,
have to.
Aga. You don't think Shakur ever gets hit by Tank at all?
Nah, he's gonna get hit, but I don't think Tank will be able to catch him flush the way he
Oh,
be
okay.
catching these. You know
All
what
right.
I'm saying?
I understand. So
Because
you
I
think
know Shakur so well. Shakur's IQ is gonna be spiking. You feel me? Like his shit's gonna be like, like that nigga's nah. I'm not getting hit by him. You feel me?
but
Which could probably cause him a
you
fight.
don't think when somebody fight a brawler, I mean, because Tank is technically a boxer, a masterful boxer. It's just that when
Yeah,
he hits somebody, they can't afford to exchange power with him. And if you don't have the power to keep him respectful, we both know boxing well enough to know that if you can't keep somebody respectful, what stops them paws from just running through you?
pause.
Super pause. Thank you,
Yeah, that
Edgar.
was
Thank you,
crazy.
thank
You're
you.
right, Edgar.
That was crazy. Thank you.
Crazy.
Thank you. I didn't want to fuck the floor up with y'all two conversations,
was
but I'm glad
crazy.
you said something.
I'm a
Edgar.
time out. That was stupid crazy.
That was crazy.
Yeah. You right about that. And at the end of the day, Shakur gonna have to go through that storm. You know what I'm saying? He gonna have to sit down and exchange punches if he wants to get that respect from Tank.
I
But
kind of
listen,
agree.
man.
Go ahead. Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah, I think Shakur will beat him.
I think that'll be a great fight. I kind of agree
Oh,
with
1,000%.
no,
A
no.
thousand
I'm saying
percent.
I think that both of you guys have a great point. It goes like this for me. If we're talking about that fight, Edgar made a great point that Tank is so powerful that he can afford to lose rounds, and then he'll turn it up on you. So he'll cut the ring off on you. Like the last fight, he just knocked that nigga out. He was losing on the cards, and if Shakur could stay away and box for 12 rounds and not fall into a trap of trying to get into a brawl, or Shakur may be in a mental state where he be like, I gotta have an exciting fight. If he stay away from that and box, it'll be a good
Yeah.
fight. And just I think if Tank starts putting pressure on him, what is that gonna look like? What if a full speed
Yeah.
Tank runs down on you for 4 rounds in a row? What's that? You're gonna have to let
Look,
your
like for
hands go.
example, look,
Mhm.
And I want to give an example, right? And this is my brother, right? He just fought, right? You know the Sheryl. He's a Puerto Rican kid that was stopped like 5 people. He killed somebody in the ring too. They was calling him the boogeyman at 140. You know what I'm talking about or not?
No, I don't.
Spanish kid, Puerto Rican kid. So he killed somebody in the ring, right? And then after that, like his last 4 opponents, he made him quit in the corner. And he fought a kid. So he went back to Puerto Rico. He had the title. He fought a kid named Liam Powell, right? And people thought he was gonna do the same thing. He was gonna stop this dude. They was like, yo, he's gonna end this dude, right? The kid came to fight. But not only that, the Puerto Rican kid, right? He has this thing of losing 5, 6 rounds of letting them throw at him, bing, bing, and him catching punches, bing, bing, because he could take a punch. You feel me? But he's like, let me tie these dudes out, and then after the 4th or 5th round, I'm gonna jump on them and I'm gonna break them down. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like what Tyson, what Ali did with the rope-a-dope. You know what I'm saying? Where what's the name? George Foreman get tied, and then he'll come. You know what I'm saying? And he tried to do that to Liam, to Parrow, to the white kid from the UK, but the kid was in shape. You know what I'm saying? The kid could take a punch. And he weathered the storm from the Spanish kid. You heard? Bing, bing, bing. Weathered the storm 4 or 5 rounds. And he came and just turned it up on him. And he took the title from him in Puerto Rico. You know, so that's a good example right there, that fight.
Yeah, I would love to see the fight. I think I'm going to go with Tank as well, but I think it's not going to be as easy as everybody think it is. I think that Shakur could make that fight boring. And and I know everybody thinks we have whatever it is, but not saying boring. A lot of times, but we gotta realize when we talk about Shakur's fight, he wins the fight, but it seems like he lost. You know, you're in the room after the fight murder with Andre Ward and Terrence Crawford, and they seem like they're sad about it, but you actually won the fight. You get what I'm saying? And that's really what it's about at the end of the day. Let me move on from that real quick. A couple more questions before we let you go. What's going on with you and Oscar De La Hoya? What is his beef about, saying not Puerto Rican? Where did you two go wrong, you and Oscar?
Nah, you know Oscar, right? Oscar's a funny dude. So Oscar wanted to sign me when I was a free agent. He flew all the way from LA to New York for 4 hours, you heard? Had a 2-hour meeting with me, thought he was gonna sign me. He didn't sign me, and then he had to fly right back to LA, you heard? So I feel like from there, he felt some type of way, you know what I'm saying? And then now, this is the weird part, right? That I sat down with the nigga, right? And he's like, yo, you Puerto Rico's next big thing. You the face of Puerto Rico. That's how I say, like, dudes in boxing is fucking fake, you heard? He's telling me all this shit. But he probably was trying to tell me that to sign me, right? And then now, I go and I get the Canelo fight. You know, when he got Munguia got spanked out. And then he just started ranting on Instagram, talking about that I'm not Puerto Rican, that I'm not a real Puerto Rican, that I'm from New York, that Puerto Rico don't accept me as a fighter. I'm like, nah, what? I'm like, yo, you fucking crazy, bro. Like,
he got a lot of nerve.
And then I started
from LA
and I started posting up. He was wearing his panties and shit.
That's crazy. Look, Ed, thank you so much for joining the show. When's the fight stat?
September 14th, T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
And listen, what are we expecting before we let you go? And is this going to be a long fight? Is it knockout? Is it going the distance? What are you predicting? Knockout.
6-round knockout.
6-round knockout.
I like that.
I like that. Yo, Edgar, good luck, and thank you for joining the show. We love you, bro.
Are you ready?
Thanks, Ed.
I love you. Brother, you ready?
Okay, Edgar, it's a pleasure to have you, but that is all the time that we have for today. Thanks for watching, and as always, it is what it is.
What you want, nigga? Everything, nigga, super size. Two big necks, like when they doing them 2 for $5.